My child, come closer. There is nothing you need to prepare. There is nothing you need to explain. You do not need the right words. You do not need strength. Just come as you are. I know how long this day has felt. I know how heavy your thoughts have been. I know how many times you told yourself to keep going, even when your heart wanted to stop. I saw you today. I saw the quiet effort it took just to function. I saw the way you carried responsibility even when you felt empty. I saw the way you kept your composure while something inside you was aching. You do not need to carry that here. Sit with me. Let your breath slow. Let your body rest in this moment. Nothing is required of you right now. You have been measuring yourself by what you did not finish, by what you could not fix, by the version of yourself you think you should have become by now. But I want you to hear me clearly. I have never measured you that way. I have never looked at you with disappointment. I have never compared your journey to anyone else's. I have never expected you to arrive somewhere you were not ready for. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not failing at life. You are living. And living is not neat. It is not linear. It is not something that can be perfected. Some days are about moving forward. Some days are about surviving. Some days are simply about staying. All of them matter. I know the thoughts that return when the world grows quiet. The thoughts that question your worth. The thoughts that tell you you should be stronger, better, different. Those thoughts are not the truth. The truth is that you were loved before you understood love. You were valued before you accomplished anything. You were chosen before you ever tried to earn it. Nothing you have done has changed that. There are memories you wish you could leave behind, moments you replay with regret, times when you wonder why you acted the way you did. You ask yourself if those moments define you. They do not. I was there in those moments. I did not step away when you stumbled. I did not withdraw when you were ashamed. I stayed. I know how shame works. It tells you to hide. It tells you that you are too broken to be seen. It tells you that if people truly knew you, they would leave. But I am not afraid of your truth. You never need to hide from me. You never need to pretend with me. You never need to clean yourself up before coming close. You belong here exactly as you are. I know how loneliness feels in your body. That hollow ache that does not always have words. That sense of being unseen even in crowded rooms. Loneliness is not about being alone. It is about feeling misunderstood. And I understand you. I understand the exhaustion of always being the one who holds things together. I understand the sadness of giving more than you receive. I understand the fear of letting go because you do not know what will happen next. You do not need to carry all of that alone. You do not need to control tomorrow. You do not need to have answers tonight. This moment is enough. This breath is enough. Let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw unclench. Let your thoughts slow down. I am holding you. You have been so patient with everyone else, so understanding, so forgiving. But you have been harsh with yourself. You have spoken to yourself in ways you would never speak to someone you love. You have demanded more from yourself than you would ever demand from another. I do not ask that of you. I am gentle with you. I am patient with you. I am not keeping score. I am not counting your mistakes. I am not waiting for you to become someone else. I delight in who you already are. You are not loved because you are useful. You are not loved because you perform well. You are not loved because you carry everyone else's weight. You are loved because you exist. If you wake up tomorrow and feel unsure again, I will still be with you. If you stumble again, I will not leave. If you feel numb, if you feel angry, if you feel tired beyond words, I will remain. You are not a burden to me. You are not an inconvenience. You are not too much. You are my child, and I am not going anywhere. So for now, let this moment be enough. You do not need to solve your life tonight. You do not need to replay every mistake. You do not need to prepare for every possible future. Rest your mind. Rest your heart. I am watching over you. Stay here a little longer. There is no rush. I am with you. My child, stay with me a little longer. You have spent so much of your life trying to be what others needed, trying to be reliable, trying to be steady, trying to be the one who does not fall apart. You learned early how to carry weight that was not meant for you. You learned how to stay quiet when something hurt. You learned how to survive without asking for help. And you did what you had to do. But surviving is not the same as resting. I see how tired that kind of strength has made you. I see how it has worn you down slowly, quietly, over time. You were allowed to set that armor down here. You do not need to be useful in this moment. You do not need to be productive. You do not need to be impressive. You only need to be present. There are parts of you that feel forgotten. Dreams you once held gently that now feel distant. Hopes you buried because they felt too painful to carry. You wonder if it is too late for those parts of you. It is not. Nothing that mattered to you was ever invisible to me. Nothing you loved deeply was ever small. Even the dreams that did not come true shaped your heart in ways you do not yet understand. They taught you compassion. They taught you humility. They taught you how to sit with others in pain. That is not loss without meaning. I know you question yourself. You wonder why you feel the way you feel. Why some days feel heavier than others for no clear reason. But your heart remembers things your mind tries to forget. Your body carries stories you never had the words to tell. I am not impatient with that process. Healing is not a straight line. It is not something you finish. It is something you live through, gently, slowly. Some days you feel lighter. Some days old pain returns without warning. That does not mean you are going backward. It means you are human. I know there are people you miss. Conversations that never happened. Goodbyes that were incomplete. Grief does not always look like tears. Sometimes it looks like exhaustion. Sometimes it looks like numbness. Sometimes it looks like pretending you are fine. I am with you in all of it. You do not need to rush your healing to make anyone comfortable. You do not need to explain why you still feel what you feel. There is no deadline on your heart. You have been afraid of becoming a burden. Afraid that if you speak honestly, if you show your weakness, people will turn away. That fear has kept you silent more than once. But silence has a cost. I never asked you to carry everything alone. I never designed you to live without support. You were made for connection. You were made to be seen. And even when others could not show up the way you needed, I never left your side. I know you struggle with trust, with letting people close, with believing that love can stay. Your caution makes sense. Your walls were built for survival, but walls that protect you can also isolate you. I am patient with the pace at which you let them down. You do not need to tear them down all at once. You do not need to force yourself to feel safe. Safety grows slowly. You are not broken because you struggle to trust. You are responding to what you lived through, and I honor that. There are nights when your thoughts circle endlessly, when your mind refuses to rest, when worries replay themselves again and again. In those moments, bring them to me. You do not need perfect prayers. You do not need the right words. Your honesty is enough. Even silence is enough. I hear what you cannot say. You have carried guilt for things that were never fully yours. You blamed yourself for outcomes you could not control. You wondered what you should have done differently. But you were doing the best you could with what you knew at the time. I do not judge you for that. I see your intention. I see your heart, and I am gentle with it. You are allowed to forgive yourself. Not because everything was okay, but because you deserve peace. Holding on to self-punishment will not heal you. Let it go, slowly. I am not disappointed in you. I have never been ashamed of you. I am proud of the way you keep choosing to stay, even when it is hard, even when you feel tired of trying. You are still here, and that matters. Stay with me a little longer. Let your breath deepen. You are not alone in this night. I am here. My child, you do not have to rush through this moment. There is no urgency here. There is no deadline you need to meet. There is no version of you that needs to appear right now. Just stay. I know how often your mind drifts back to what went wrong, to the words you wish you could take back, to the choices you keep replaying. You ask yourself why you were not stronger, why you did not see things sooner, why you allowed yourself to be hurt. But you are judging yesterday with today's understanding. You did not fail. You were learning. Every version of you was doing the best it could with the knowledge, safety, and strength it had at the time. Be gentle with those versions of yourself. They carried you to where you are now. There are parts of you that feel tired beyond explanation. Not tired because of work, not tired because of effort, but tired in a deeper way. Tired of holding yourself together. Tired of being careful. Tired of hoping and being disappointed. I see that tiredness. It is not weakness. It is the sign of a heart that has tried again and again. You have given more chances than you should have. You have stayed longer than you needed to. You have believed in people who could not meet you where you were. That does not make you foolish. It makes you human. And it makes you loving. Do not punish yourself for having a soft heart in a world that was not always gentle with it. I know there are things you still grieve that you rarely name as grief. The life you imagined. The version of yourself you thought you would become. The relationships that changed without closure. Grief does not always come with tears. Sometimes it comes with silence. Sometimes it comes with distance. Sometimes it comes as a quiet heaviness you carry everywhere. I carry it with you. You are not required to move on quickly. You are not required to be okay just because time has passed. Healing does not obey calendars. There are days when you feel steady, and days when old feelings return without warning. That does not mean you are failing at healing. It means you are alive. I am not disappointed when you struggle. I am not frustrated by your pace. I walk with you at the speed of your heart. You have spent so much time listening to voices that questioned your worth, that minimized your pain, that asked you to be smaller, quieter, easier. Those voices are not mine. My voice is gentle. My voice does not rush you. My voice does not shame you. When I speak to you, it is to remind you that you are already enough. You do not need to earn rest. You do not need to justify your exhaustion. You do not need permission to stop striving. Rest is not a reward. It is a need, and I give it freely. So breathe again. Let the tension soften. Let the noise fade slightly. You do not need to understand everything tonight. You do not need to fix what feels broken. You are held, even in uncertainty, even in waiting, even in the unanswered questions. I am with you here. Stay. My child, you are allowed to stop fighting yourself. So much of your energy has gone into self-correction, into replaying conversations, into rewriting the past in your mind. You keep asking what you should have done differently, what you should have known sooner, who you should have been. But I want you to hear this clearly. You are not on trial here. You do not need to defend your choices. You do not need to justify your pain. You do not need to convince me that you tried hard enough. I already know. I know the context you were living in. I know the pressure you were under. I know the fears that shaped your decisions. Nothing about your story is hidden from me. You have been carrying guilt that does not belong to you, responsibility that was never meant to be yours alone. Blame you accepted because you did not know how to set it down. But guilt is not the same as responsibility, and punishment is not the same as growth. You do not heal by hurting yourself. You do not become wiser by endlessly condemning who you once were. There is a difference between learning and self-destruction. Learning is gentle. Learning leaves room for compassion. Self-destruction demands perfection and offers no mercy. That voice that tells you you should have known better is not helping you grow. It is keeping you stuck. You are allowed to forgive yourself, not because everything turned out okay, but because you deserve to move forward without chains. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is releasing the need to keep punishing yourself. I am not asking you to pretend the pain did not happen. I am asking you to stop using it as a weapon against yourself. There are parts of you that learn to stay alert all the time, to anticipate danger, to scan for disappointment. That hypervigilance once protected you, but you do not need to stay in survival mode forever. Your body deserves rest. Your mind deserves quiet. You do not need to be prepared for every possible loss. You are safe right now. Notice this moment. Notice your breath. Notice that nothing is being asked of you. You do not need to earn this stillness. I know you struggle with control, not because you want power, but because uncertainty feels terrifying. When life once felt unpredictable, control felt like safety. But control has also exhausted you. Trying to manage every outcome, trying to prevent every hurt, trying to stay ahead of pain. You were never meant to live that way. You were allowed to loosen your grip. You were allowed to let some things remain unanswered. Trust does not mean everything will go perfectly. Trust means you do not have to carry everything alone. And I am here. I have not been watching from a distance. I have been walking with you through every uncertain step, even when you felt lost, even when you doubted everything. I did not leave. You do not need to rush your transformation. You do not need to become someone new overnight. Growth happens quietly, often without applause, often without certainty. Sometimes the bravest thing you do is simply continue. And you have continued, even when you were tired, even when you were discouraged, even when hope felt thin. That matters. You matter. There is no part of you I am waiting to reject. No hidden flaw that will suddenly make me withdraw. You are already fully known, and still fully loved. So let yourself rest here, not as a reward, not as a break before trying harder, but as a reminder that you are allowed to exist without striving. Stay with me. There is no rush. I am not leaving.
My child, you do not need to hold yourself together anymore.
You have been bracing for impact for so long that you forgot what it feels like to simply exist without tension. Your body learned to stay alert. Your thoughts learned to stay busy. Your heart learned to stay guarded. That was how you survived. But survival does not have to be your permanent home. You are allowed to exhale. Not because everything is resolved, but because you are no longer alone with it. There are moments when you feel guilty for resting, as if stopping means you are falling behind, as if peace must be earned through effort. But rest is not laziness. Rest is restoration. Even the earth pauses. Even the night arrives without apology. You do not owe the world constant motion. You are allowed to be still without explaining yourself. I know there is a part of you that worries what will happen if you stop trying so hard. You fear things might fall apart. You fear people might leave. You fear you might lose control. But you have already held so much together, and you are still here. Let me hold what you cannot tonight. You were never meant to be the foundation for everything. You were meant to be held too. There are questions you keep circling. Questions about direction. Questions about purpose. Questions about whether you are on the right path. But purpose is not always loud, and direction is not always clear. Sometimes purpose looks like surviving a hard season. Sometimes direction looks like staying present in confusion. You do not need to rush toward clarity. Clarity comes gently, often after rest. You have spent so much time worrying about becoming, about arriving, about finally being enough. But you are enough now, not later. Not after improvement, not after healing is complete. Now. I am not waiting for a better version of you. I am walking with the one you are today. The tired one, the uncertain one, the one who is still figuring things out. You are not a disappointment in progress. You are a human being in motion, and I am patient with that motion. There are nights when your thoughts soften, just for a moment. In those moments, do not rush to fill the silence. Let it be. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is space. Space to breathe. Space to feel. Space to be held. If tears come, let them come. They are not a sign of weakness. They are a release. If nothing comes, that is okay too. Rest does not need to look a certain way. I am with you whether you feel something or feel nothing at all. You do not need to perform healing for me. You do not need to prove that you are changing. I see the quiet work happening beneath the surface. Growth you cannot yet name. Strength you do not yet recognize. It is there. Trust the process you are in. Not because it is easy, but because you are not walking it alone. For now, stay here. Let the world slow down. Let your breath deepen. There is nothing you need to solve in this moment. I am here, and you are safe enough to rest.
My child, you are not required to understand everything you are feeling right now. Some emotions do not arrive with explanations. They arrive as weight, as fog, as a quiet sense of heaviness that has no clear shape. You do not need to analyze it. You do not need to solve it. You can simply let it be here with us. There is a difference between awareness and overthinking. Awareness notices. Overthinking tightens. Tonight, you are allowed to notice without tightening. Notice your breathing. Notice the rise and fall of your chest. Notice how the moment continues, even when you stop trying to control it. Nothing bad happens when you rest. You have been living as if something terrible will occur the moment you stop being vigilant. But look around you now. You are here. You are safe enough. You are not being asked to perform. Your nervous system has been working overtime, always scanning, always anticipating. It deserves gentleness. Let your breath slow again. Not forcefully, not perfectly, just slower than before. You do not need to push thoughts away. If they appear, let them pass through. Like clouds moving across the sky. You are not the clouds. You are the sky that holds them. I am with you in this stillness. You are not wasting time by resting. You are not falling behind. Rest is not absence. Rest is presence without pressure. There are parts of you that have never truly known safety. They learned early that peace was temporary, that calm could disappear without warning, so they stayed alert. But tonight, those parts do not need to work so hard. You can let them soften. You can let your jaw relax. You can let your shoulders drop a little more. You do not need to carry tomorrow into this moment. Tomorrow will come when it comes. Right now, you are allowed to exist without preparing for what is next. I am not asking you to trust blindly. I am asking you to rest gently. Trust grows quietly, often when effort stops. If fear appears, do not argue with it. Simply notice that you are not alone with it. I am here. You are not being tested. You are not being evaluated. There is no expectation placed on you right now. You do not need to be productive. You do not need to be insightful. You only need to remain. And even remaining does not require effort. Let yourself sink a little deeper into this moment. If your body feels heavy, that is okay.
If your mind drifts, that is okay. You do not need to correct yourself. I am steady. I am present. You are held even when you are not aware of it. Even when your thoughts wander. Even when sleep begins to approach. There is nothing you need to do to deserve this care. You already do. Stay here. Let the night continue without resistance. I am with you.
My child, you have reached a place where nothing more is required of you. There is no effort needed now, no attention that must be held, no thought that must be completed. You do not need to stay awake to receive care. You do not need to listen carefully. You do not need to remember anything that is being said. Your body already knows what to do. Let your breathing move naturally, without guidance, without correction. Each breath out can carry away a little more tension. Your shoulders can soften. Your jaw can loosen. Your eyes can rest behind closed lids. There is no urgency here. Nothing is waiting to be solved. If thoughts appear, you do not need to follow them. You do not need to push them away. Let them come. Let them pass. Like distant sounds that fade on their own. You are not required to stay alert. You are not required to stay aware. Rest is already happening, even now. Your body is supported. The surface beneath you is holding you. Gravity is doing the work. You can allow yourself to sink just a little more. Nothing will fall apart because you stopped holding it together. Nothing will be lost because you chose to rest. I am here with you in the quiet. I am here even when your thoughts slow. I am here even when words no longer register. There is no danger in letting go. The night is allowed to unfold without your involvement. You do not need to prepare for tomorrow. Tomorrow will arrive when it is time. For now, this moment is enough. Your breathing can become softer, slower, easier. If your mind drifts, that is fine. If images appear, let them fade. You do not need to stay with them. You do not need to return here. Sleep is welcome. And if sleep does not come, rest still does. Rest is simply not trying. I remain whether you are aware or not. Through the quiet, through the dark. Nothing is required of you. Nothing at all. Just rest. Just rest. I am here. My child, there is nothing left that you need to hold together. You have arrived at a space where effort is no longer necessary, where attention can soften, and where the night can carry you without resistance. You are not expected to follow every word. You are not expected to stay present. You are not expected to remember anything at all. Your body already understands how to rest. Let the rhythm of your breathing continue on its own, without instruction, without correction, without pressure. Each breath out can release what your body no longer needs to carry. Your shoulders may feel heavier now. Your arms may feel warmer. Your legs may sink further into the surface beneath you. This heaviness is not something to fight. It is the body's way of letting go. There is no urgency in this moment. Nothing is waiting to be decided. Nothing is being evaluated. If thoughts arise, you do not need to engage with them. You do not need to understand them. Let them appear. Let them dissolve. Like ripples in water that slowly return to stillness, you are allowed to drift. Your awareness can soften without disappearing completely. You are safe enough to loosen your grip on the need to stay aware. The night is steady. The darkness is not a threat.
It is a container. You are being held even as your thoughts slow. Your breathing may become quieter now, more shallow, more gentle. This is natural. Your body is doing exactly what it knows how to do. There is no mistake happening. If images pass through your mind, do not follow them. If memories surface, do not analyze them. They will fade on their own. Nothing needs your attention. Nothing needs your effort. You can allow yourself to sink a little deeper with each breath out. The surface beneath you continues to support you without effort. Gravity is constant. You do not need to assist it. Your jaw can relax further. Your tongue can rest naturally. Your forehead can smooth. There is no danger here. You are not required to stay alert. The world can move on without your supervision. Tomorrow does not need to be prepared for. Now is enough. Breathing in, breathing out. Nothing else. If awareness drifts, let it drift. If sleep comes, let it come. If it does not, rest still remains. Rest does not require sleep. Rest is simply not doing, not holding, not fixing. I remain whether you notice or not, through the quiet, through the dark. No effort, no expectation. Just softness, just stillness, just rest. I am here.